From Tarlow, Hart Rodgers in the studios. Welcome, Mark.
Jeffrey, great to be with you.
Great to be with you too. Mark, what's the interesting story today?
Well, I don't know if you know the stateroom up at the top of 60 State Street, but there's a lease dispute that there was a recent decision by our appeals court on, and it's kind of a interesting case, and it harkens back to in a lot of business agreements there are provisions where if there's a dispute about what the value is of something, then it's decided through some kind of arbitration or appraisal process. And this case is interesting on how that works and how courts treat alleged mistakes made by appraisers or arbitrators. So, as folks in Boston know, the stateroom is a lovely spot to hold an event at the top of 60 State Street. And Stateroom Inc. is the tenant up there, and they run events. And there was a lease that goes back, I think, to 1990. And it had options to extend starting in 2010 for an additional 10 years, and I think there's one after that. Well, in 2009, pursuant to the lease agreement, when the landlord and the tenant couldn't agree on the new rent, the procedure was landlord designates an appraiser, tenant designates an appraiser, the two of those appraisers designate a third appraiser. You then take the average of the three. You then discount altogether the appraisal that is most distant from the average, and then you average the remaining two. So it's kind of this complicated process, but the idea of it is if the landlord's designated appraiser says the space is worth $1,000 a foot and the tenant's appraiser says it's worth $40 a foot and the third appraiser says it's worth $50 a foot, the landlord's appraisal in that example is so far removed from the other two, it just gets discounted, and then you'd have the average of the 40 and 50, and you'd arrive at a rent of 45. So it's designed to encourage, I think, people staying within, certain boundaries. So